Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to Eclectic Skies. I'm just hanging out in DD's in a parking lot in Brooklyn. It's actually freezing here today. Mucho frio, no doubt about it. You know what I mean? It's March. I'm hoping for March 20th. Springtime, no doubt. Just got to take a beautiful sip of this coffee, you know what I mean? Anyway, welcome to all our new subscribers. Lucy and I want to welcome you all. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit that subscription button, no doubt. We appreciate that. Today I want to talk about stress, all right? Have you ever experienced stress? I mean, who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? Stress. So, you know what my honey and I do, you know what I mean? We're going to be starting a group here in Brooklyn starting next month in April, all right? And prior to that, what I've done, I've had some my own gatherings of people. We would gather in a McDonald's, and I would ask the 6 questions. You're probably like, yo, man, what's the 6 questions? Get in. Let me get another little sip of my coffee. Okay, let me put this down for a minute, right? Okay, stress. First of all, what's stress, right? People might be like, yo, man, what are you talking about? First, again, if you've lived long enough, you're going to experience stress. It's like pressure, right? You know, when you got like something on the stove, boiling water, pot, and you got a top on it with no way to relieve the steam, well, it's gonna boil over. You know what I'm saying? Bada boom. Forget about it. You know? It's pressure. It's tension. That's what's going on, you know? So I've experienced a lot of stress in my life. I want to talk about it, and I want to share what's worked for me, the things I'm doing to relieve my stress, all right? So let's get into it, all right? I'm going to hit you with the 2 questions today. Then we'll do 2 questions tomorrow. And then what do you think we're going to do the next day? Duh. The other 2 questions, okay? You dig what I'm saying? You figure out what I'm doing? Okay, here we go. All right, first of all, this is what I ask people to do. Get a piece of pen. I mean a piece of paper. That's a Freudian slip. Get a pen and a piece of paper. And all I say to them, I say, yo, what is causing you stress in your life right now? All right, you can look at the week that just went by. Write down 2 or 3 things that are causing you stress. So, let's grab the old pen. Okay, I got my pen, and I got a piece of paper over here. I'm gonna write something down, okay? So I'm gonna give you a minute to do that. Just stop what you're doing if you can. Obviously, if you're driving, don't stop driving. Look at the road. But if you have time, stop what you're doing. If you have time, take a minute, grab a piece of paper, all right? Let me just get one more swig. Oh, man. This is one thing that helps me out, is coffee. Right? Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of paper. Nice, fresh piece of paper. And a pen. Let me tell you something. A pen and a paper is powerful stuff. Ain't no doubt about it, man. All right? So write down 2 or 3 things that are stressing you out in your life. Okay? I'm going to look back at the last week, all right? What stressed me out last week? Let me do that. Let's take a minute to do that. Okay, there's 1, 2, and okay. I wrote it down, all right? Take all the time that you need. This, again, is for you. This is for nobody else but for you, all right? Now, stress could, this could entail, let me get my coffee. I talk better with it, I'm still trying to find my groove, y'all. You know what I mean? Very good. Now, stress could be like an emotional stress, maybe a relationship. You know, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband. It could be friendships. It could be family. It could be at your job. I mean, there's a whole array of stuff that could be stressing you out. Okay? Also, you got mental things. You know, maybe you have a lot of things going on in your mind and you just can't think clear. You know? It could be physical. Maybe you're laid up, you broke your leg, or you have some type of physical ailment that could be stressing you out. You know, I also did a little research too, and I saw that when we're very stressed out, you know, we're prone to depression, right? That was one thing. Getting very fatigued, getting very tired, you know, high blood pressure. And also, in my opinion, stress could kill you. You know what I mean? So let me write down. I mean, I wrote it down. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm still learning on the job here, folks. All right, give me a break. You know what I mean? What I wrote down was, the first thing I wrote down was court. Right? I finished my divorce, and that was very stressful to go through a divorce, unfortunately. You know, I don't know if there's anybody out there that has gone through a divorce, but going to court for it can be very stressful. All right. Also, you know, visitation. I have a young son, and I want to make sure I get to see my son. So that I had to do that this week. So it was a little stressful. Okay. So that was one thing. The other thing is, for example, when I went into the Dunkin' Donuts just now, you know, people talking online. Hello, loud as can be. Hello, I'm in Dunkin' Donuts now. I mean, really loud. Like, lady, I don't need to hear your conversation. Maybe it could be a little lower. I was also in a Dunkin' Donuts last week, and I'm sitting there trying to drink my coffee, and this lady is going off about she bought some clothes. I mean, I'm sitting there minding my own business. She's in the middle of Dunkin' Donuts. Forget about it. She didn't even have coffee. On the phone, yeah, clothes. I mean, very angry. I mean, you know what I mean? You can feel that anger. All right? People talking, that gets, you know, that stresses me out and gets me upset. All right? Also, I live in Brooklyn, right? You know, I'm here, I'm hanging out. I'm on Utica Avenue over here in Brooklyn. Yo, loud noise. I mean, you know, there's constant fire engines passing by. I mean, yeah, I know they're going to put out a fire, coolio. But I'm just saying, the noise level, just to drive down the street, you got all kinds of sirens going on. You know what I mean? Ambulance all the time. Then, not only that, you got construction workers. Hey, I know they're doing their job, no doubt. That's all cool. It's very noisy, you know, living in Brooklyn. Very noisy. Woo! Forget about it. So that's just 3 things I could just name off the top of my head. So that's what I wanted you to do. Hopefully you wrote down 2 or 3 things that are stressing you out this week. That's the first question, okay? The second question, all right? So check it out. Look at your list. See what you wrote down. You can leave it in the comment section. That's not a problem if you want to share that, all right? No doubt. So that's very important. I believe it's very important to identify. I need to identify what is stressing me out. I have to be honest about it and identify it. So, again, I look back the week I just lived, a week ago, and I say, okay, what stresses me out? What stressed me out last week? I write it down, all right? So I got 3 things. Now, the second question is, how can you reduce or eliminate what you just wrote down? The 2 or 3 stresses you just wrote down, how can you reduce it or eliminate it? Now, I know sometimes you can't eliminate it, but possibly you could reduce it. So let me take another minute to think. Thinking, the pen and the paper, is very powerful. So let me take a minute to think. Do you mind? You do the same thing. Write down how you think you can reduce or eliminate the stress you just wrote down. All right, let me take a look here. All right, got that. Okay. All right, I wrote down something, you know. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm on a video here. But I want to make it as real as possible, all right? So, take a look at the things that stress you out. How can you reduce or eliminate that? Now, I know I said that 2 or 3 times, but that's imperative because that is going to help you. That is going to help you reduce the stress. You see what I mean? I don't know if you hear it that well, but an ambulance just went by. But you know what I'm doing? I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. And you know what? They're out there helping people. God bless them. And I need to just ignore it and realize that it's just going to pass. If I need to cover my ears, too much rock and roll, too much loud music, I'll cover my ears. And that's how I'm going to reduce that stress. They're doing their job. They're doing a very important job. And I need to know that they're just going to be passing by. I don't need to bug out like I was doing. You know what I mean? Get upset, you know, get twisted in my own brain, get frizzled, fried. You know what I mean? I don't need to do that. So that's how I can reduce the loud noise. Realize that, you know what? I can even put on some headphones, you know, listen to some music. It's going to pass. The people talking and the people getting loud, you know, in different places, at the post office, at Dunkin' Donuts. Also, I need to ignore them, realize they're having a stressful day. Something is wrong, seriously wrong in their life. You know, maybe say a prayer for them too, because obviously things ain't going right. And realize that, you know what, that young lady, she did leave, she left. She finally left the Dunkin' Donuts, you know, we finally got, you know, she was still on the phone talking pretty loud, and hopefully she resolved her situation. When she left, it was like, wow, I can actually think, I can hear myself. You know what I mean? And, you know, the other young lady over here in the in Dunkin' Donuts, well, she, it's okay. I got my coffee and I left. You know what I mean? I don't need to build things up in my mind that don't need to be built up. So that's cool. All right? And I'm going to get to the first thing, okay? I'm going to get to the first thing that stressed me out this week. So again, I just want to explain what we do. What I've done in the past is I get a few people, we have a little get together, usually in McDonald's in Brooklyn. And we sit down and we talk about the 6 questions. And the first one again is, what is stressing me out? What's stressing you out? You know, list 2 or 3 things that's bothering you. You're getting upset about, you're getting stressed. And the second question is what we're doing now is how can we reduce or eliminate it? So the other 2 questions and then the other 2, I'm going to hit you with the next day and the following day, all right? I don't want to give you too much, okay? And we talk about it. That is very, very salient. You need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody where I feel like I'm not going to be judged. They'll give me good direction. I feel comfortable. And I'm able to get off my chest, if you will, it's an expression, the things that are on my mind. Because the things that are on my mind, when things are too much, I can't think straight. Already I'm in a fog, like, you know what I mean? You know, I'm not thinking clear. You know, maybe I'm making poor decisions sometimes when I'm all, you know, stressed out. That's definitely true. It has happened. So that's why it's very important that I talk with somebody that will listen to me and that will give me good direction. So that's crucial. So the first one is court. A few days ago, I had to go to court because I want to make sure that I get to see my son. I'm in Brooklyn, and if he's in California, I got a problem. You know what I mean? And I've seen my son. He's going to be 5 years old in a few weeks. I've seen him all his life. And I don't want that kind of a separation. So, so that was on my mind. And, you know, once something is on my mind, it's hard to get out of my mind. But the way I got it out, the way I reduced it, I didn't eliminate it, but the way I reduced the stress this week is by calling my honey, calling my sponsor, talking to my mom, praying, of course, definitely praying to my higher power, and saying positive affirmations like, you know, God hasn't brought me this far to drop me, like I said before. God has a plan for my life, you know. I need to continue to do the footwork. I have a good lawyer, definitely. So hopefully, I know that everything is going to be okay. And we're just going to continue to do the right thing. And, you know, everything will be worked out. So that's how I live. I live on my positive affirmations. I trust my higher power. And that's how I relieved all of this stress this week, okay? So, you know, how do you deal with your stress? How can you reduce the things you wrote down on that paper? How could you eliminate it if possible? Let us know in the comments section, you know, and definitely, you know, we have the time. More than likely, we'll respond back to you, okay? You know what I mean? We like to do that. We love the rapport back and forth, you know? We dig that. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, was stress. It's a big thing, and, you know, recalling in my life, I never really did this. I just let things build up, and I never really took care of things properly. You know, at one point in my life, I didn't have a good relationship with my higher power. I didn't have a sponsor to call, you know. I didn't have, you know, good people in my life. And you could imagine, I was a wreck, you know. So I let all these things fester in me and bother me. And, you know, it wasn't good for my, you know, mental health, you know, my mental health. But today, I got to honestly say, my mental health is pretty good. And each week I want to look at the past week to see what's up, how things went, and start identifying, you know, where stress is coming from so I can knock it down and eliminate it or reduce it. All right? So, listen, thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow I'll give you the next 2 questions. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. We appreciate that. If you want to like the video, if you want to share it, that's all coolio. And definitely leave the comments. And Lucy and I, we want to get to them, all right? So listen, you all have a blessed day, and later, man.